What's going on, everyone? John Ranger from TechnoBuffalo. We are here on the field at Marlins Park, and as cool as the surrounding is, that is not the most exciting thing here. I am standing next to Mr. Wonderful himself, Kevin O'Leary.
Great to be here. It's wonderful.
Thank you for taking the time to talk with us. I get a ton of questions as an entrepreneur myself, but certainly someone who has spoken to probably more entrepreneurs than you care to remember, how to start a business and what it's like. So in our line of work, we're online. We don't have a tangible good necessarily to sell. What advice would you give to somebody that maybe doesn't have a typical assembly line, can't break down their cost of goods sold necessarily? They want to start a business and the product, I guess, is just themselves. What advice can you offer?
You know, clearly, businesses are driven by one simple fact. You're solving a problem for somebody, and people are willing to pay you for that service. And take yours, for example. The reason you're so big is if I want information and I want it independent. In other words, I don't want the manufacturer telling me how great the product is. I want you to tell me because I know and I trust that you're arm's length. I'm willing to actually go and look at it because you are delivering something that I want. I want something independent, I want information. And that's why you're making money, because my eyeballs are worth something to advertisers. You're selling advertising, and I keep coming back because the content's good.
So social media, a big way to disseminate information now. People are getting their news from Facebook, Twitter, and less from typical news mediums. For the folks out there that are trying to make a living based on social media and disseminating information and serving as almost citizen journalists, any advice for those kind of people out there to keep true to their message, but also try and make money as well? It's kind of a fine line to walk.
Well, it's a great idea, dissemination of content, but the way to make money with it is to curate it. In other words, I don't have much time in my day, but I go online for all my information. And so if you can curate, for example, the other day I was looking for a new watch. I don't want to go look at every manufacturer's watch site. There's a very famous blogger out there who curates all the content. Every day that's put up by the watch companies around the world, I go to his site because he gives me the very best stuff. That's curation of content. You're kind of doing the same thing. That's the next big thing in social media, is knowing what I want, curating content, giving me exactly what I want. I'm willing to pay for that.
Now, are you willing to let people know your information? As a user who's using a site, are you okay with sites collecting information about you?
I am, because I want them to do something for me. They know what I want, they know what I'm buying, they know what I'm interested in. Serve up stuff of interest to me. Reduce the amount of time I have to spend online actually is very valuable for me. And so I'm not against giving them the information. Here's what I want, here's what I need, here's what I buy. Now take it and serve up stuff to me that's useful. If you don't, I'm not going to go to your site anymore. It's that simple. So I'm okay with it.
So I just watched the presentation. As an entrepreneur, I know this. You have to be able to disseminate what you're trying to sell and what you're trying to do in 90 seconds or less. I get that. For somebody who, like you, who gets pitched all the time, what advice can you give for someone who's putting together that pitch? I know when I went and first pitched for my first 90 seconds, I got laughed at. I was 24 years old with a liberal arts degree and no business experience at all. What advice can you give to somebody like a younger version of myself or who's ever out there that wants to get into business?
Well, here's what you have to do, and this works all around the world for everybody in every language. It's very simple. Tell me your idea in 90 seconds or less. You got that one already. Number two, tell me why you're the right person to execute the business plan. What do you know that makes me believe that you can actually do what you say you can? That matters. But here's the thing that really is the core. Know your numbers. In business, the numbers are everything. What are your break-even margins? How big is the market? How many competitors are there? How much money can I make if you achieve a certain volume? These are all questions you should have answers to. If you don't, I will personally eviscerate you.
I don't doubt it. I've seen you do it many times. So, personal questions? What are your favorite pieces of tech?
My most favorite piece of technology is old school stuff. You're not going to believe this, but I buy vintage 70s and 80s power amplifiers. That's what I'm into. So if you have an old Macintosh with tubes, or I just bought an old Techno piece that's made of old transistors, sounds amazing. I have a lot of vinyl records. I buy a lot of cartridges. I'm into old tech.
And what phone or phones do you carry with you? Are you an iOS, Android?
I am everything. So what happens to me is, one of the benefits of being a shark is I get sent everything from everybody to try it. So I try every new piece of equipment that comes out. Currently, I've just moved to the 6S because there's an app out there that lets you download a technology that turns it into a broadcast camera. Just the 6S. 1080p, the networks are using it. I set up on a tripod and I broadcast live, high-def network primetime television from the 6S.
Thank you very much for the time. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.